This car has quite a genealogy in the US. Over the past 15 years, it's been known as the Matrix, Scion IM, and Corolla IM. As part of a General Motors joint venture, it was the Pontiac 5. Now, Toyota simply brands it the Corolla Hatchback, which is what it's been all along. Though in Europe, it's the RS, but I digress, it's not important unless you move there. All you need to understand is that this new version stays true to the Corolla philosophy while adding some panache.
Automakers can use the term new pretty loosely. For example, the previous generation Corolla used the platform architecture and many of the drivetrain components from the previous generation Corolla, and Toyota called it new. This one is new, really new.
Riding on the modern TNGA platform now, it's lower, wider, and shorter by about a half an inch in those dimensions. The shape of the sheet metal gets a more aggressive attitude. It drew a number of compliments from friends and neighbors. Toyota just can't resist enormous maws like this. Corolla's is tamer than the ones on Camry and Avalon. This is a little much considering the car's solid transportation mission. It's not a track rat, but overall, Corolla Hatchback is one of Toyota's cleaner, cohesive design efforts. Under here, new again. This 2-liter 4-cylinder is actually physically smaller than the outgoing 1.8-liter and packs an additional 31 horsepower without a turbocharger. That would be 168 horsepower and 151 pound-feet of torque on standard grade fuel. The transmission is so new, it's the first of its kind. It pulls away using a first gear, then it passes the power delivery to a continuously variable section. 10 speeds are simulated in the automatic's manual mode. A sport mode adjusts the ratios and throttle response, and it changes the visual here.
There is the option of a 6-speed manual transmission with rev-matching downshifts, and apparently part of its logic makes it very difficult to stall the engine at a stoplight, so you won't embarrass yourself. Unless you're caught headbanging to Nickelback.
The new sedan will be available with a hybrid powertrain. Naturally, Corolla is a front driver.
So the horsepower figure in this car is nearly the same as a Volkswagen Golf, but the V-dub is turbocharged, so it has a lot more low-end torque.
Corolla will run to 60 miles an hour in about 8.5 seconds. It's quick enough, but not as fast as that rear spoiler might suggest.
Really though, Corolla buyers are looking for good, solid, dependable transportation, and this one delivers. Now, let's talk about that transmission. Because it has that first gear before it goes into the CVT part, it has a very decisive launch. Offline and even in some city driving, it feels like a regular geared transmission. Now, when you get on the highway and you really put your foot into it, there is some of that rubber bandy feeling that CVTs are known for, but it's really well done. Even the manual shifts pretty much feel like the real thing.
I averaged about 29 miles per gallon. Fuel economy fans should know that this XSE model that I'm driving scores 3 miles per gallon less than the SE version, according to the EPA. Corolla can be the most efficient vehicle in its class. It depends on the configuration.
The outgoing Corolla, not exactly known for its driving chops. This one is actually kind of fun to drive. There's some road feel. The suspension is firm but comfortable.
The torque deficit might cause enthusiasts to dismiss Corolla without driving it. I'll argue that sometimes it's more fun to drive modestly powered cars hard than powerful cars modestly, right?
If you're looking for a small Lexus, this isn't really that. The lower profile tires let some sharper bumps through, and road noise is moderate. However, for an affordable car, it's pretty refined.
To my ear, it seems nearly as quiet as the Chevrolet Cruze, which isn't long for this world.
This Corolla has the newest version of Toyota's suite of safety technology called TSS 2.0. It includes lane keep assist, blind spot warning, and I have to admit, an automatic emergency braking system that I actually used and got on camera. So here we are. I'm taking pictures of the viaduct, which is closing. It's a beloved piece of roadway in Seattle. And I was watching everybody take pictures of this with their camera phones, and then Yeah, it braked automatically. Now, I was going for the brake, and the system beat me to it by about a fraction of a second. But I will admit that I'm embarrassed that I actually had to rely on this stuff. But maybe I should have been using the improved adaptive cruise control that works down to a complete stop, huh?
On the bright side, it's a teachable moment. At least I wasn't texting, something I will never do in a car. Oh, and the TSS system is standard on all Corollas. The outgoing car's dashboard felt like looking over a wall. This new model drops the height to a reasonable threshold, but it doesn't feel as spacious in here as some competitors like Hyundai Elantra GT. It sure looks good though. There's piano black, soft touch surfaces, and real stitching to gaze upon. And it's not just quality materials, the simplicity gives Corolla's cabin a unified look. I find some Toyota products try too hard and end up looking busy in here. This blade of a door pull is elegant. I'm a fan of the seats too, with deep bolstering and a combination of leather and grippy fabric panels that breathe. I'll point out that the traditional shift lever is better than electric joysticks when making fast three-point turns. Even the sunshades are well done. XSE gets a marriage counselor. That's what my wife calls dual zone climate. There is no sunroof option, if that's a deal breaker. There are the usual places to organize your stuff in here. Since it's smaller, the spaces aren't all that huge. All Corollas get a large 8-inch screen mounted high so drivers can keep their eyes on the road. I like this user interface because between the hard buttons on the side and the touchscreen elements, it's simple to use. It might not be flashy, but it's as solid as Toyota's brand image. Alexa and Apple CarPlay are supported. Android Auto is not.
I remember the back seat of the outgoing Corolla sedan to be a lot roomier than this. Not overly spacious, huh? I'm 5'9", and I have just enough room. Footroom, not overly generous. Also, the door openings themselves are kind of small, so, getting in and out, not so easy. There are no door pockets. There is a cup holder. No vents, no power port to charge my phone.
At least there are pockets on both back seats. Not much of a spine running down the middle, but still, I wouldn't put 3 adults back here on a regular basis. That shouldn't surprise anyone. It's a Corolla, not an Avalon.
Now, if you're going for the sedan version of the Corolla, make sure you're getting the one that you want, because this one here is based on the old architecture. It's still for sale. The new one is just coming out. Or you could just go for the sure thing and get the hatchback, which is very useful because of the wide opening, makes loading stuff in and out very easy, like a small crossover or SUV.
Like those, the load floor is on the high side, especially for a car, but at least there's a spare as a result. I like simple, clever touches. This setup certainly qualifies. And while the hatchback setup makes it easy to load large things into the back, the swept rear-end design keeps the cargo area on the smaller side. No matter how I tried loading it, only 4 packs of the 2-ply fit. That's 1 less than Chevy Cruze hatchback and 2 less than the Honda Civic hatch. Oh, and the hatch is made of a lightweight polymer material. This car is pretty easy to buy. It only comes in a few iterations, starting at $20,900 for the SE with cloth seats and smaller 16-inch alloy wheels. The only real option is the trick transmission at $1,100. This XSE here really has just one option package at $1,600 that includes a pretty good JBL sound system and Qi wireless phone charging. It stickers for $26,600. That's a fair price for the best Corolla or IM or Matrix that Toyota has ever produced. Buyers that are focused on performance will probably gravitate to Honda Civic Sport and Volkswagen Golf. Mainstream shoppers and Toyota loyalists will find this Corolla to be a modern take on the classic. All Corollas come standard with LED headlights. An adaptive front LED lighting system is available. It considers the vehicle's speed and steering angle to aim the light towards where you're going. It's an add-on to the preferred package, so in the end, it will set you back $2,000, but it is available. Finally, if you own one of these with the automatic transmission, Toyota might be reaching out to you about replacing it. Apparently, the torque converter can fail. The recall affects some 3,400 vehicles built in 2018.
That's how I feel about the all-new Toyota Corolla hatchback. Did I mention that it was all new? Yeah, I think so. Hey, This is the first video that I've used the new camera on. I'm not sure that you're aware of that, but this is the one that you helped me buy. I really appreciate it. At this point, I haven't actually edited anything, so I'm not exactly sure just how good it looks, but through the viewfinder, it looks great. Can't wait to shoot more cars with this. And again, thank you, thank you, thank you. Really appreciate it. What a great group of people you are. I'm sure you're very good looking. I'm sure you're very smart. I can tell that from the comments. That's Driven. I'm Tom Voelk. Hey, nice new camera. Don't go anywhere near it.